That is unbelievable. I can't believe I've done that. I've just come down. I've just come down. Well, good morning. It's a beautiful morning. As you can see, we've had a dusting of snow, but it's not as cold as it was yesterday morning. So today I'm just doing a local walk, literally walking from the pub where I'm staying and this area I think gets overlooked a little bit, but it looks amazing on the map. So hopefully it's going to be a good walk, an enjoyable walk. In a minute I'll be heading up over there. Intriguingly, that's known as Devil's Crag. I've just realised that I've left my poles in the car. Never mind. Hopefully I won't need them. There's Devil's Crag. There must be a story for that. The poles would have come in useful. It's definitely uphill and it's a bit awkward in the snow, a bit slippery. So I'm directly on top of Devil's Crag. Definitely could have done with my poles, typical. It's because I didn't drive today. Although I did go back to my car to get my boots because I left my boots in the car. I just forgot to get the poles out. I've not come from far. It's come from Barbondale, which is just down there. But I'm not going down and coming back up again, so I'll just have to make do. The good thing is I am wearing my micro spikes, so it's not a complete disaster. But look at these spectacular views. I was wondering what that noise was. And it's me. Something on my backpack. So that was a bit of a false summit. I think this is Escombe Pike. Over there, looking pretty stunning, is Barbondale Fell. It's well worth coming up here today, but a lot more difficult coming up in the snow. That path in places is extremely steep, and it's just on rock, so in the snow it's very slippery. Not sure if we got a trig point on this walk or not, can't remember. There is another high point coming up. There may be a trig there, honestly can't remember. Going this way. So we'll be walking along the tops for a bit, and then we've got a really steep descent down into the dale. I'm a bit worried about that very steep descent because there's no path marked on the map, and the contours are very, very close together, and well, it's all snowy and slippery. So I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. The weather forecast for today was clear, bit of cloud, but it's like snowfall over there on the mountain tops. Seems that I've still got more ascent to do. So I think the snow is clearing, but I'm climbing up higher, so it's kind of evening out. But I think there might be more snow on the way. So here we can see the print of what's obviously a dire wolf in the snow. Just a baby one by the looks of it. I definitely don't like the look of that cloud. Yeah, the snow is definitely starting to melt. Lower down, I'm finding that temperature regulation is difficult. Obviously it's not a very warm day, but climbing up here, especially with the slippery snow, making it tougher to climb up. In the bright sunshine, I am sweating, and there's not a hint of wind either. I'm more worried about keeping covered up for sun protection. I've got my ski goggles on because I don't want to get snow blindness. I can hear lots of explosions in the distance. I'm guessing it's quarrying. Views are opening up even more now. There is another person up here as well, just ahead of me. Footprints in the snow. So I'm looking at the map and I'm less than a quarter of the way around the route, and I've got 4 hours of daylight left, which is a little bit worrying, but I've been doing all the uphill, so better this way around than to be running out of daylight while still climbing uphill. I'm not too bothered, I've got my head torch with me, and with a bit of snow around, should be quite light anyway. Probably won't even need the head torch. but the temperatures are going to drop. So ideally, I don't want to be back too long after dark. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I'm a lot higher than I actually am. I think this is Castle Knott. Yeah, this is Castle Knott. I'll put the height on the screen if I remember. I've still not finished the climb though. I think that's the highest point. And then after that I'll be descending, including possibly a very sharp bit of descent. And then I think the walk back, which is going to be in the valley below, I think in theory that should be a fairly level path. In theory, with a gradual kind of descent, but who knows? Oh, now this annoys me. Look at this. I've got to go down and then go back up again. I mean, it feels like you could be on the foothills of pretty much any mountain range in the world, and it wouldn't look that different from this. So that's looking back at Castle Knott. The highest point on the walk is still to come. Okay, so I'm at about 550 meters right now. I've got another 60 meters of ascent to get to Calf Top. And there is a trig point, I've just had a look, and then it will be descent after there. So here we go, Calf Top, trig point, 610 meters. Wow. Look at this ground. So I'm now halfway around. Got approximately 3 hours of daylight left. This is where I turn off. God, that doesn't look very safe, does it? Health and safety. At least it's not covered in snow and ice. That's the best I can get the gate back to where it was. Right, well, here's the bit I've been a little bit concerned about. Quite a steep drop down into the valley below, and there's no path marked on the map, although there does seem to be some kind of trail. Oh my God, it's not looking good, guys. I can't believe this is a path. I'm glad I'm not coming up. That's the only thing I'll say right now. That was the easy bit. That was the gradual bit. I don't know how I'm going to do this bit. Okay. And I've no idea what that noise is. So this just goes to illustrate why you shouldn't choose a route that you find online. I'm literally sliding down on my bum, so my bum's nice and wet now, but oh, it's going to get a bit painful. There's a bit of scree coming up, but yeah, there's no way that I would try and do this any other way. Oh no, I'm not sure what I'm going to do now. I can't slide over the scree. That is unbelievable. I can't believe I've done that. I've just come down. I've just come down. Well, all's well that ends well. There's no way you could actually walk down there. You could walk little bits of it. But I mostly came down on my bottom. And I now have a very wet bottom. The next bit of walking is road walking. This country lane, I've only seen a couple of vehicles go along it, so we should be okay for traffic. I just hope it's not too icy, because as I say, I don't have my trekking poles. But I absolutely cannot recommend this route, guys. I found it online. I went to Ordnance Survey. And, you know, you have the option on Ordnance Survey to click on Find Routes, and it comes up with different routes. And it came up with this one, which looked perfect. But I have always, right from the beginning, I've always been concerned about this bit. And originally, when I looked at the route, I got it the wrong way around. I thought it was going up here. And that would have been impossible. If that had been the case, I would have got to this point and thought, nope, and given up. And then I would have had to go back the way I came, which wouldn't have been a particularly good walk. So in a way, it's fortunate that I've done it this way. But I did do due diligence. So what I did is I opened up Ordnance Survey, and, you know, sometimes there are routes that are not marked on the Ordnance Survey map, but if you kind of go, you know, you'll say you're on this road here, and then you just click on as your next point up here, it will find a route for you that's not actually marked as a path. And there's all kinds of routes like that in the Peak District, which I know, and they are actual paths. They're just not official public footpaths, so they're not marked on the Ordnance Survey map. But it does know they're there, and it will find them for you. So I did that for this, and it did find the route up that I've just taken. So someone thinks that's a path, someone thinks that's a route, but I really wouldn't recommend it. The gritting lorry's just been around, which is perfect. I'm wearing my micro spikes, but they're not the best thing to be walking on a road surface. So this is Barbondale. there will be, apparently there are, off to the left here, there are some small waterfalls every now and then. I'm probably not going to spend time going looking for those though under the circumstances, but we might be able to see some from the road. Well, I'm making quite a good bit of progress walking along this road. I'm about halfway along the road, just under halfway along this stretch of road that I got to walk before I turn off. I've got about 2 hours of daylight left. Cattle grid ahead, and I guess I fall in the animal category. So that's Short Gill Crag, and it's one of the crags that's shown on the Ordnance Survey map as having a few waterfalls. So it looks like we won't get to see them, unfortunately. It's trying to snow, maybe, do something. When I planned the route, this section looked just as good, if not better, than the section up top. Shows you that you can't always tell by looking at the map how good something's going to be. All the little waterfalls that it promised are out of sight and inaccessible, and I don't think they'd be very big anyway. So it's just a long stretch of road walking, but it's still pretty. It's a nice valley. So it's not a complete disaster walking along here. It's just not as good as I thought it was going to be. That looks enticing. Can't get to it though. So it looks like there's definitely snow up there now, up on the tops. I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to turn off and stop the road walking. So here's the point where I cross the bridge and come off the road. The good thing about the road walking was I've actually got quite a distance done in a relatively short time. There's probably only 20% or so of the walk to do. And we've got plenty of time before it gets dark. The beck's down there, we're quite height above it. It's starting to get pretty cold, but not far to go now. Absolutely beautiful. And there's the village in front. So that's the loop complete. And it's just a short walk now down into the village. Plenty of time before sunset. That was a long walk. It felt longer than it was. It took quite a while. It was at times a little bit perilous, but it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Thanks for watching.